What is up, my viewers? Spang here, bringing you another viewer-submitted gameplay commentary. This time, it is from NoJame. It's been a little while since I've gotten a replay from him, or rather, since I've done a replay from him. So he's saying right now he's 2K away from the AMX 5120, so very close to his, what would that be? The tier, yes, the tier 9 French heavy. Apparently loving the French line. He's got 6 shells that he can fire and cause some serious pain. And now this commentary will not be a back-to-back due to the fact that I kind of owe NoJame a bit. I told him I would try and get the replay done before the weekend was over, and I failed. So, yeah, I'm not going to do a back-to-back on this, just kind of to make up for the fact that I got a little bit too busy and I couldn't do it. Not only that, from the sound of the email, it sounds like this is going to be a very interesting game. So, let's get to it. The match is a standard battle on Sand River. This is something that's a little odd, because really ever since the encounter battles and the assault battle game modes came out, you don't see standard battle all that often on the maps where either of those game modes are available. So a standard battle, it's like some people have forgotten how to play it. Right here we're getting some weird lag issues apparently. Ping's not really working too well for NoJame, causing this whole stop and go effect. Not quite sure what's really causing it, but hopefully it goes away. Now, NoJame's team not really sending a lot to the south, but to be honest, you don't really need a whole lot to the south to really stop a push there. The enemy team's typically not very fond of rushing through that open expanse, but sending quite a bit of tanks to this center dune that, you know, could come back to bite his team in the butt, to be honest, because like I said, you run into the same problem on the center dune that the enemy team runs into in the south, is that it's not typically a good idea to push, because simply the enemy team does have a lot of tanks that they can post on that hill near their base that will just have a clear line of sight on you if you decide to push past this little dune area. The enemy team apparently deciding to engage quite a bit, the Panther II taking a bit of damage, same with that T-34. The enemy team sending not too many tanks to the south, at least apparently not that many tanks to the south. Enemy team, I'm not sure if I said this, but the teams are pretty even. Looking down both lines, it should be a good fight, a good fair fight. And as we saw earlier, 2 tank destroyers were spotted on that hill. So pushing at this point, not really a smart option. That Panther II getting lit up by, Panther II destroying the AMX 12 ton. I almost had that backwards. This Tiger II perhaps going to meet his doom very shortly. There we go, the 2 tank destroyers spotted on the hill. NoJame standing out in the open a little, risking quite a bit of damage here, but it's something he should really get to cover. Let's just say that. I would not feel comfortable in this position if I were him for that exact reason right there. He just got pummeled a little bit, lost over 500 points. No. He lost a little over 400. I was going to say almost 500, but enemy artillery in quite a unique position. If you caught that on the minimap, artillery was spotted in sector Delta 0, so quite odd positioning. There we go, spotted again. The enemy artillery is surprisingly not dead yet. Speaking of odd, I'm not quite sure how those Type 59s just managed to completely blitz their way towards the enemy's base. Perhaps to their own doom, and actually that's exactly what it's looking like. They have to fight a Tiger II, an ISU-152, and an M36, and they are not doing too hot for themselves. Both of them potential one-shots, definitely for that ISU, if that ISU gets a good solid hit on them. They've got a Type 59 coming behind them. Never Aim, moving to support, kind of flanking this whole Dune thing, recognizing that the enemy's team is currently preoccupied, but also getting himself in a bit of a precarious position here. Not really, he doesn't have really any cover should the enemy team do something, stop that whole base offense, which they have now, and decide to go on that hill. Never Aim perhaps going to get the kill on this T-34 here. I'd be very surprised if he could not kill it unless someone else kills it first, which looks like it may be the case, but nope, he will get the final shot on it. First kill of the match for NoJame. This hill push actually working rather well thanks to those Type 59 rushing the base like that. That was very unexpected. The enemy team just really letting them push right through, right around the dune, and right up that little bridge that's, you know, kind of goes underused. Never Aim, NoJame, sorry, very similar sounding names, and Never Aim sends in so many replays. I really do apologize, NoJame, but right here, getting stuck on the rock and using it for some cover while he reloads, you know, that's one thing that's tricky about French artillery, French tanks, bro. I'm tired. Forgive me. Anyway, French tanks in general, when you stop to reload, you need to just hide. Don't try to be a hero. Don't try to be crazy. Just when you're reloading, find a nice little safe place to hide, and then go out and cause some pain. Just unload those shells, go full, you know, Rambo mode, fire all 6 shells as quickly as you can at some tank, cause some pain, and then run away. That's how the French tanks work. I'm working my way up the French line right now. I'm currently at my 12-ton, and I love it. But he's right here, Nojame, telling his team to capture. Again, using the same bridge that those Type 59s abused earlier. And really, his team could potentially see some issues if the enemy team pushes hard enough and gets to his base. But the enemy team does have to go through an AMX meal and an AC meal and a Jagdpanther. So nothing too easy to push through, especially considering some of their heaviest hitting tanks are still here near the base. That Tiger 2 has been sitting on base the entire match, not really useful for his team. In fact, it looks like he's potentially AFK. Is he? Or is he just that much of a new player? I mean, I would be very surprised if he was not AFK, to be honest, because he has really not done much at all. I mean, he was there for when those 59s came through, but really, okay, I think that, do I have alternate here? Can I see his name? No, I cannot. So yeah, he's AFK. He's loaded into the match. So I guess he was just one of those guys that loaded into the match and then walked away from their keyboard or something. I don't know, man. That is most unfortunate for the enemy team, being down a tier 8 tank like that, especially in a tier 8 match. It's never good to have one of your heavy hitters just be AFK. That's Super Pershing doing pretty well for himself. Nojame, he has 2 options here. He can start blowing away these buildings, which is what he will do. Ooh, utilizing that fact that he knows he can just completely unload and potentially kill this Panther 2. Oh, Panther 2 backing up a little. Maybe not, maybe a little too much here. Nojame, what are you going to do? You're going to continue to blow up those houses, completely exposing that Panther 2 and potentially getting the kill. There we go. Final kill going to Nojame. Sorry for that little rumble there. That was my phone. Nojame doing very well for himself at this point. Definitely his team has won. I do not see a comeback anywhere in the near future for this enemy team. I'm just surprised that his team was able to be as sneaky as they were and get those 259s really did throw the enemy's team into a bit of disarray there when they rushed the capture point. His team doing a very good job of capturing, and really the enemy team having no chance of coming back from this apparent loss. Wow, a VK2801 still alive. That is somewhat surprising. This Super Pershing exposing himself to possibly meet his death and doom. But we will find out very shortly. Just take those shots, Nojame, and finish him off. The enemy team's pushed to the north, getting completely stopped by those 2 tank destroyers. Like I said, an AC Meal and a Jagdpanther are nothing to scoff at in a tier 7 match. I mean, in a tier 8 match. Tier 7s are still plenty potent against tier 7 tanks if played properly. Nojame getting his 5th kill. Definitely some well-played matches. Those tank destroyers sitting back on base, really stopping any sort of enemy team capture. Doing very well for themselves, you know, winning by 6 kills. Not as large of a margin as we have seen in the past, but still very impressive. So getting 5 kills, very well done. Good amount of experience and credits for Nojame there. Sniper going to that Pershing, and Steel Wall also going to a Super Pershing. Apparently Super Pershings are quite effective. Now, I have noticed that when I'm fighting them, they tend to eat shells, and by eat shells, I mean, they get hit and it'll say penetration, but it just gets absorbed by spaced armor. So apparently hard to get through those Super Pershings. They are something that should be taken quite seriously. 15 shots hitting the target out of 19, 3 hits taken, and like I said, just doing overall quite well for himself. Now, Nojame, I see you playing the French tanks like I wish most people played French tanks. Like I was saying, you go out there, you unload, and then you hide. You had a few mistakes staying out in the open, but hey, everyone does that. They sacrifice security for shots. And by that I mean, you expose yourself to hurt other people, but you end up getting hurt in the process, and you say, fair trade. Anyway, if you like this video, click that like button. If you want to see more, subscribe. And as always, if you got a replay like Nojame here, send it to spanglereplays@gmail.com. Email in the description. And as always, this has been Spang, and I am signing off.